Good day, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. We are back on our South American travelogue. We are in Lima, Peru, which is where we landed last time. And as you can see, we've got some low cloud here. We're down on the Pacific Ocean. Today's going to be an interesting flight. We're heading up to La Paz in Bolivia. Short flights, just over an hour and a half. I think it's an hour and 32 minutes. But the interesting thing is La Paz is one of the highest airports in the world. We're actually landing at an airport with its airport elevation in the flight levels. It's over 13,000 feet, so it's going to be interesting. And also interesting that there's no actual accurate weather coming out of there right now, so not sure what it's like. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. The TAF that was issued 24 hours ago was talking about thunderstorms later on, so we'll see what happens there. But at the moment, we are going to take off and see what happens. Joining us again is Nick, flying the other Star Wars A320, and we're also joined today by another member of the EasyJet Sim pilot community. We've got Eastwards Lee in the Avianca. You can see at the bottom of the screen there. There's a couple other airplanes up here as well. There's a British Airways at the far end. There's another one as well. So Lima's a little bit busy right now, which should be good. The weather looks interesting as well, but we should have a good flight. So let's hop on board and we'll get the aircraft ready to go. Hi, Eastbirds. Yeah, you're nervous for this high altitude. Well, flaps 3 landing, and make sure that when you do flaps 3 you click that button there, so that the system knows you're only doing a flaps 3, and auto brake 2, and it's a long runway, you should be okay, and we should be good to go. So let's run through the prep here. So parking brake is on. The flaps are down, flaps are up, spoilers are retracted, weather radar is off, predictive wind shear is off, engine masters are off, ignition's on normal, thrust levers are at idle, gear is down, and we can do our cockpit prep. So batteries coming on, external power is on, brake pressure is in the green, and we'll get our lights on. On the checklist I have the panel lights are actually a few items down, but I do them all in one shot just to get it going. And I have found out, thanks to Nick sending me a link to it, there is an issue with the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant and some of the lighting in the aircraft, the dome lighting issue I was having. We'll leave the floods off, we don't need them at the moment. Alright, APU fire test. APU fire test is good. Crew oxygen is on. Cockpit voice recorder test is good. Go to Deers, get them aligning. The Deers are aligning. The nav lights are now on, and we will get the cabin lights, passenger, portable devices, and emergency signs are loaded, and you are good to start. Loading, crew. Oh, right. So this is the problem we had last time we flew in here. The airport changed its name, and some of the software is not lining up properly. Oh, and you don't want to do that either. So let me redo that, and we'll see if that's going to work now. There we go. Everybody's coming on board. Fantastic. All right, so let's see. The ground crew is doing out here. I should be starting to bring the bags out. But you hope anyway. Yep, so baggage and catering are on their way as well. Excellent. So annunciator lights are fine, probes and window heats are on auto. APU is off at the moment. Aircraft temperature. We're going to leave them in the middle. It's only about 14 or 15 degrees down here in Peru, and I know we're going to be up high and the temperature is going to drop when we're up there. So if we pull up the eCam page for electric, and we'll pop that out so you can see it. And what we do is we go up here to the overhead, we shut the batteries off. You can see battery 1's off. We're now running funneled through the external power. You can see how it changed. Battery 1 on and battery 2 off, and battery 2 is on. So everything is working the way it should be working. And we can put the eCam back over to its normal page. Fuel pumps are all off. We'll do the engine fire test. Engine 1, engine 2. They are good. So flight directors coming on both sides. Barrel current weather, and I'll throw it in the chat. Just do a search right now. Just updated. So here's the current weather for where we are. So what you can see, winds are 320 at 7 knots. There is some fog and mist. You can see it to the north there. Overcast at 500 feet, 16 degree temperature, QNH 1015. So we'll get that entered in. 1015. There we go. And we're going to be taking off on runway 33 today. Given that wind, it's actually picked up a bit. It was about 4 knots earlier. It's gone up to 7, so definitely going to be heading off in that direction. So we are at 10 arc and no constraints. 10, I'll put this over to 40 where I usually have it. For restrictions on the departure, have no speed restriction other than the 250 knots, and all the altitude restrictions on the departure are minimums, so no maximums. So we're going to dial in right to our cruise altitude of 37,000 feet, and speed will be managed, heading will be managed when we get there, and of course altitude will be managed. So that is all set. Radios. My favorite thing right now is they keep wanting to change on me. 122.8, we'll put that on. So that is set. So let's get over here. We'll get the fly pad up and running. We got to start the fuel loading process. There we go. I wish this would save between flights. Hopefully that's something that's coming. Still on the experimental version. I know I gotta get the developer one that's being updated.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items
fuel.
in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you.
Take a look at our fuel
Unless
load.
you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you.
7.6
If
is
the
our
overhead
fuel
bin is
load.
full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers.
So it's going to take them 4
Once
minutes
all
to
your
get
items
us
are put away,
set
please
to
clear the
that.
aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats
Come
as
down
well.
and start entering
If you
our
are
information
seated
in.
in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of
So
you.
there's our flight
Please
plan.
make sure you are willing and able to
Lima
perform the
to
actions
La Paz.
required. If you are not able or prefer
37,000
not to
feet.
perform these
And the
actions,
Throttle
please let a
today
flight attendant know so you
is
can
quite
be
different.
reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process,
327.
but we do ask that laptops,
There we
tablets,
go.
and any other larger electronic
Got that
devices
entered
are
in.
stowed once we depart from the
So we're going to
gate.
go grab
Thank
the
you
weather.
and welcome aboard.
They're loading in the back. Some nice music going. LATAM boarding music. Sent to me courtesy of Nick. Alright, performance, weight, and balance. So the block fuel is they're going to be defueling, but we're going to be going with 6776 minus the taxi fuel is the 6576 we should have for the trip, so that's good. So we're happy with that. For our payload, 18920, which is good. 180 passengers today. So we're going to load the payload. You can see we're slightly over what our gross should be because we are still, come up, defueling, bringing us down to where we should be. So that'll be fine. So we'll go to our initialization and our make sure all this is entered in. So our zero fuel weight is 59.9 and our center of gravity is 30.0 and our block fuel will be 6.7 by the time we get there. Trip wind, it's almost negligible. Well, it is negligible. It's almost zero. It's a tailwind of 1 knot over the length of the flight. So there is that entered in. We can now go to our flight plan. So we're here at SPJC. We're going to be departing on runway 33, and we're going to use the Lima 3 Golf departure. And we are going to Mexur. Slide that to Mexur. And we'll insert that. And our arrival, there's really only one way you come into this airport. Our arrival is going to be the it's going to be the RNAV for runway 10. No stars, no transitions. There's no star into the airport, so we just head direct to the entry point. It's funny though, Navigraph has an ILS landed in there. I wonder if they're not using it anymore. It's interesting.
We're ready to go when you are.
Sounds like everybody's on board. Getting my chart set up. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So now that is in. Let's head over here. We'll take a look at our planning, see how that looks. So we're going to take off to the north, and then we're going to do this arc out over the water, and then come back, overhead the field, and then we're going to head out down towards if you're climbing all the way. This is all to gain altitude since we're heading inland. And we're going to fly in, clear the mountains, and basically coming down to this point, which is LP623, and that is where we want to be getting ready to line up for our run in and land at the airport. So that's looking good. happy with that. Go back to 10. Get that set up there. Go back down and finish our performance information. So transition altitude here as we exit Lima is 10,000 feet. Thrust reduction's good. Engine out acceleration's good. It's going to be a flaps 1 and 0.3 down on the trims. Oops. What did I get? Oh. Forgot N. 0.3 down on the trims. No flex again. Flex temp calculator website's down, so we can't use that. So we're just going to go toga. So 133, 134, and a 138 for our V2 speed. So we are good there. How are we doing with the fueling? Oh, looks like you're done. So let's do a quick brief on the departure, and I'll show you the charts. Oh, let me bring up the Navigraph. There we go. So we're here at the airport where the indicator is. We're going to take off and we're going to fly that course there. And here you can see it on the departure plate, our path out. And as we come back, 13,000 feet and then 16,000 over the airport. And we're going to head down this way, 21,000 here at DC 88 minimums, because it's got the line under it, so that means you have to be above that, which we will be. And then make sure above flight level 250, then we head out on our route, and that should be good. You can see here, if you look at the description, at or above flight level 1800, at or above flight level 2100. So it's all good for that, and we should be good to get out of here in a few minutes. Yeah, I'll put the frequency in when we go in, but we'll see how it is. If it does pull it up, that'd be great. If the weather is as eSport is saying, I don't know, we might have to use the ILS. We'll see how it looks. All right. So the MCU data is entered. The MCU has been checked. RadNav for the departure. So I'm going to come back here. We're going to put in the beacon, the 116.9. We'll put that in and just have it as a reference. So 116.9 will go into the VOR. And when we hit it and come out of there, we're going to be traveling at 130. So we'll just put it in as a reference mark. So we will be good to go. All right, let's do a final check on the weather. We should have it back now. No, we sent that. We want messages, and there's our METAR. Station not available, and our destination station not available. Okay, so I've got live weather pulled up on my other machine, so that's where I'm getting it right now, and that's where I got the matter I put into chat. So, yeah, there's that. That's what you get flying into these airports, I guess. So RadNav is set up. IFR clearance will take as given. IRS alignment is complete. Both are reading the same thing. Flight plan is reviewed. EFIS nav aids, we're all good. I'm not worried about constraints as we'll be climbing above them. Takeoff briefing is done. And squawk, we are going to be squawking 7,000 on this one.
Lima traffic, Lambert 2212 on final approach, runway 15.
So he's landing on runway 15. But like I said, the winds are currently 320 at 7. Although what the sim is doing, not exactly sure. But we can't get weather right now, so I'm gonna go by what I got from the internet. All right, so let's get the APU up. Wait for the flap open to come up down here. There we go, flap open, and APU start. MCDU weights are good, 6650, and if we look at our gross 6650, it's within like 4 kilograms, which is excellent. Takeoff performance, V1 of 133, VR 134, V2 of 138. I've got 133 and 138 entered in on the PFD, so that is good. APU is coming up. Where are we? 70%. Let's let them know we're about ready to go.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Okay, I will hold.
All right. So APU is now available. APU bleed is on. I always wait to hear the fans kick up. There they are. External power will be disconnected. And we are ready to go. So, push back and engine start. Let me just get ready for that. Lima traffic, TAM 5556, gate 18, pushing back, and engine start facing south. Alright, so we are ready to go. Call for the push.
Cockpit to ground.
So
Go
doors
ahead,
and windows
flight
are
deck.
locked.
We are ready for
Cockpit door
pushback and
is
engine
now
start.
locked. Fuel
Roger,
pumps
release the
Lima
parking brakes,
traffic,
please.
180, pushing back and start from
coming on.
gate
Parking brake is
Parking brakes
released.
released.
Pushing back.
Beacon is on. Steering pin will be inserted in a second. We should see it kick in here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 5556 with service to Bolivia. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 32 minutes.
Just waiting
Please
for him
note
to
the
start.
cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin
Lima
for
traffic,
departure.
Avianca 850 at gate 21,
Clock
pushing
is
back,
started.
ready for start, facing south.
Fuel pumps are running. That's fine. Transponder.
You're clear behind, and you can start your engines at your
Ladies and
discretion.
gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety
Transponder is
demonstration.
on.
Thank you for flying with us.
Igniter is to
Pasajeros, es
normal.
un placer tenerlos a bordo de la TAM. Por su
Starting
seguridad y
engine number
confort,
1.
solicitamos poner atención a las...
We'll go outside just so we can see where we're going. A couple other airplanes down at the other end. There's the guy that just landed coming in. So it looks like Lima's a little bit busy right now. Not sure what airline he's flying. He's a generic yellow airplane to me. Yeah, 320 at 7 is what I got real world weather, so it's all good. Looks like there's a couple other airplanes going off that direction as well. Alright,
We
that's
also
pretty good.
recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened and visible throughout the flight, even when the fastened seatbelt sign is off. Los pasajeros deben cumplir con las instrucciones de la tripulación, letreros y señales luminosas.
That'll
Passengers
do.
must follow all instructions given by crew members, signs and
Pushback
lights.
complete.
Está
Set
prohibido
parking
fumar a
brakes,
bordo,
please.
inclusive cigarrillos electrónicos.
Parking
Quemar
brakes
los
set.
detectores de
Roger.
humo en los baños está
Okay, the
prohibido
tow bar
por
is
ley.
disconnected and the
Smoking on
equipment
board
is
is
clear.
forbidden.
We will
This
see
also
you in the
includes
left side
electronic
with a
cigarettes,
Good
bridge.
start.
Taxi,
Engine number
disconnected.
1.
Go to hand signals.
Lavatories
Thanks.
is
Have a good
prohibited
flight.
by
See you
law.
later.
Dispositivos electrónicos, incluyendo
Now we're
teléfonos
starting
celulares,
engine number
pueden ser
2.
usados durante todo el vuelo siempre que estén en modo avión. Electronic devices, including cell phones, may be used throughout the flight in airplane mode only.
Hey, Captain Mathis. Yeah, I remember you saying your birthday was coming up. Excellent. Happy birthday.
Deben estar apagados y guardados durante rodaje, despegue y aterrizaje. While taxiing, takeoff and landing, larger devices such as personal
21,
computers
that's
must
a
be
big
turned
one.
off and stowed. Los de menor tamaño como teléfonos móviles o tablets deben ser sujetados o guardados en el bolsillo del asiento.
Congratulations,
Smaller
and
ones,
happy
such as
birthday
cell
to you.
phones and tablets need to be held or stowed in the seat pocket in front of you. Si se le cae un dispositivo en el asiento, no intente sacarlo y avise.
There's somebody taking off there. There you go. It's another Avianca by the looks of it.
Ponga su respaldo en posición vertical y guarde
Alright.
la pantalla plegable si su asiento la tiene. For takeoff, secure your tray table, put your seat back in its upright position, and tuck the video screen into its compartment if your seat has one.
Coming up. So engine 2 is available. Good start. Igniters to normal.
Este avión tiene 8
AT
salidas de
bleeds
emergencia
off,
con toboganes
AT
que
was
pueden
off.
ser usados en una evacuación. This aircraft has 8 emergency
getting ready
exits
for
equipped with
takeoff.
evacuation slides.
Auto
Los
brakes
toboganes de
to
las puertas
maximum.
pueden ser utilizados como balsa. The evacuation slides at the doors can be used as life
Spoilers
rafts.
are armed. Flaps take
El
off.
sistema de
Flaps
iluminación
1.
de emergencia lo guiará hacia las
Engine
salidas.
anti-ice not
An
required.
emergency lighting
Flight
system will
controls.
lead you to the exits. Localice su
Full
salida
left,
más cercana a la que
full right,
podría estar detrás de
neutral,
usted.
full
Locate the
forward,
nearest exit,
full
which
back,
may be behind you.
Neutral.
En
Left
caso de
rudder.
evacuación, deje sus pertenencias a
rudder,
bordo. In an event of
neutral.
an evacuation, leave your personal
Trim will
belongings
be
on board.
0.
Encontrará su chaleco
0.3
salvavidas debajo de su
down.
asiento o bajo el apoyabrazo central. Retírelo de la bolsa.
See it.
Páselo sobre su
There we
cabeza.
go.
Abroche la cinta en
And
la
rudder
parte
trim
delantera y
is
ajústela a la
neutral
cintura.
and 0. And
Al
steering
salir del
pin
avión,
has been
inflelo
removed.
tirando la manilla roja o soplando por la boquilla. A life vest can be found underneath
So,
your seat or below the central
taxi
armrest.
lights on, runway
Remove
turn
it
off
from the
lights are
back,
on.
Slip it over your head. Fasten the belt at the front and adjust it at the waist. As you leave the aircraft, inflate your vest by pulling on the red handle or blowing into the tube.
Lima
Luego se
traffic,
activa el
PAM
contacto con el agua.
5556,
A light will turn on
taxiing
upon contact with
to
the
runway
water.
33 via Foxtrot 1,
Si la cabina
Foxtrot,
pierde
holding
presión,
short,
máscaras caerán automáticamente
33.
sobre su asiento. If the cabin loses pressure, masks
Alright,
will
parking
automatically
brakes are
drop
off.
down from above your seat. Tome la máscara, colóquela sobre su nariz y boca, deslice la banda elástica alrededor de su cabeza, ajústela y respire normalmente.
Lima
Coloque su propia
traffic,
máscara
PAM
antes de asistir a niños
180,
u otras
taxiing
personas.
via Foxtrot 1 and Foxtrot.
Pull the mask toward you, place it over your nose
There
and
we go.
mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, and breathe normally. Put on your own mask first before assisting children or others.
So
En
TO
caso de
config
requerir
check
mayor
is done.
información, lo invitamos a leer nuestra tarjeta con información de
we'll
seguridad
bring the
ubicada
cabin.
en el bolsillo frente a usted. If you need more information, you are welcome to take a look at our safety information card located at the seat pocket in front of you. Gracias por su atención y disfrute su vuelo con LATAM. Thank you for your attention and enjoy your flight with LATAM.
So there's Eastbirds and the Avianca getting ready to push. And we should see Nick over there. There he is. So when there's no ATC to do spacing, we usually do 2 minutes between. Which gives enough spacing that we don't have to worry too much about getting too crowded in the sky, especially when we're coming in at the other end. it's not far to taxi. It's fairly short. Those wonderful mountains there. That's what we got to get over. So that's what we'll be doing our initial climb up to clear. Here's the Eastbirds pushing back. And Nick taxiing out. Good. We're almost here. So it's a short flight. We do got some briefings and stuff to go to, and we got to get through the mountains. So I don't have a movie for today, but I do have a couple cartoons. I did find a new source of movies with some different ones I can grab, so I'm going to work on that. So hopefully soon I'll have an updated selection, the summertime selection, and some new stuff. We can be amazed by the technical prowess and the incredible story writing on some of these 1950s B movies. Alright, so brakes are on. We will do our checks. So cabin crew has been notified. Exterior lights are coming on. Landing lights, strobes, wing lights, and takeoff.
Lima traffic, AV-Anchor 850, ready to taxi runway 33 via
NTIs not required. Packs are going to remain on. TCAS is TARA, and above weather radar is on. Predictive wind shear is on weather mode. It doesn't matter, it doesn't work anyway. And takeoff memo, no blue. Alright, so let's roll out. Lima traffic, TAM 5556, taking position runway 33. And there is no one inbound at the moment, which is good. So parking brake off. A little bit of throttle, get her rolling. Get ourselves lined up.
And Lima traffic, town 180 will be lining up after the company 1820.
There we go. There's Eastbirds. Looks like he's getting ready to taxi down. So we'll get ourselves set up. Heading on managed. And off we go. So brakes set, throttle's up to 50%. Engine's coming up. Brakes released. And toga power set. So man toga and SRS enabled. Knots. V1 rotate. Slowly coming back up. Positive rate, gear up. And speed brakes are in. Gear up. Spoilers are disarmed. Throttle set to climb. Autopilot's on. There's those fishing boats we saw on the way in. It's like a cargo ship out there as well. heading out on the departure. A little bit of weather. So that's through S speed, flaps up. Climbing at 2,200 feet per minute. We're going to hold it at 25. It's a good climb rate. Still find she gets a little bit steep on takeoff. That cloud layer, another ship down there. So I'm not seeing any weather over La Paz, so we should be okay. So we got to be, when we get around the corner around here, we got to be above 13,000 feet. So
Hammer 1880 is rolling.
We should be okay. Good climb out. Definitely above all the clouds now. I don't see anything above that ground layer that we went through. Get a better view as we come up to the mountains. On our way back in, oh, here you can see a little bit of the mountains out that way. Very scenic countryside we're flying over down here in South America. Coming up for 10,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access it. We do offer complimentary in-flight seats thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and you'll be able to access our wide range of free live TV and safe movies library.
Turn on the overhead. Seatbelt and portable devices will come off. There's our turn.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
We're going to do a little bit of an arc here and then come back in. Again, we should be 13,000 minimum when we get down to about here. It's only 10 miles away. We're already 11.4, so I'm not seeing that as a problem. Bring that vertical speed back to 2,500. Let's be a little bit gentler on the passengers. Following along here, we should start to roll out. There we go. We're going to head down and make the turn. There's our point we have to be at above 13, which we're already above. So everything is good there. We'll go to standard on the altimeter.
Lima traffic, Avianca 850 rolling on runway 23.
Alright, there's Eastbird's taking off. So that 2-minute spacing, if anyone's ever flying like this in VatSim, 2-minute spacing works great. Gives you between 10 and 12 miles, 15 miles spacing, which works really well. Turn the VOR on. See, we're 21 miles away from the airport. And we're heading back inland now. So we're coming up to 18,000 feet, and I'm going to go into managed mode. That's going to kick us down on our climb a little bit, and we'll settle into a more gentle climb up to our final cruise. Again, 37,000 feet for the cruise, and our destination airport elevation is almost 14,000 feet, so it's not going to take us long to get down. We're drinking the wonderful Flyby coffee, brought to you by Fly-by-Wire. Makers of this wonderful airplane. South America here. And that is loud out there. So there's 20,000 feet, about 8 miles out, 7.5 miles from our turn point. You can see the way it's facing 130, and this is how you would navigate by VORs if you wanted to fly off on that 130 radial out from the JCL VOR. You fly towards it, and as you get closer, this arrow here will move inwards, and when it's lined up with the other two parts, that means you are on that radial. Now, if you were to keep flying, it would quickly come out the other side because obviously you've now overflown it. But we're making the turn. You should see this start to come in. And of course, it's showing that the actual course we want is to our left because we are outbound. We've just flown over top of the VOR, so we don't get a signal when you're over top. There it is. It's come back in now. And there it is coming across. You can see we're now on the other side as we've swung over. And you can tell that because the arrow is pointing back the other way. So the aircraft is going to come over, and then it should sort of come back on that line. But if you're flying a general aviation airplane, this is one way you could track these nav aids, and you could have the GPS follow these, so it would actually follow that radial. You see we're kind of swinging around a little bit, trying to get more a little bit centered on that line. But we're following the program flights in the flight management system, so we don't need to worry about that too much. So Mexur here is our departure point off the SID, and then we'll be en route from there. Just want to take a look at our flight plan. Where we come in, so 623. So LP 657 is where we will intercept the actual descent, and it's a shallower descent than normal. It's only 2.5 degrees. 6.4 is the initial point. Coming in 6.3, or sorry, 6.3 is our initial approach fix. 6.4 is the main part. So it's LP 623. We want to be at We want to be at 18,000 feet doing 200 knots. So let's see if we can enter that into our program page here. LP 624. Okay. Let's put it in. It's roughly the right bearing and it's roughly the right distance. Okay. So we want to be at 18,000 feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, go to our performance. So we're going to say we want to be at 18,000 feet, and we're going to sync our altitude. So when this gets up to 37,000 feet, it will tell us how far out from LP 623 we have to be to descend. And we're going to leave it at 3 degrees. That's fine. So we'll just leave that up there. And it's not 624 I want, it's 623. So LP 623. There we go. 542 miles. Almost at 30,000 feet. We're doing good. There's those beautiful mountain views as we head inland. Very impressive. You got disconnected a few times off the V-Pilot. Try what server are you using for V-Pilot? Switch servers. Go into your settings under network, VatSim server, just switch to a different one. I've had it once or twice. I'm on USA East, but just pick a different one. Can't see anything when you do that. Forgot about that. If we look out the right side, you can see there's the water, but we're angling inwards over land. Singapore server, yeah. Sometimes they're fine, but if you ever do get that, just switch to a different server. Yeah, very nice views. see mine switched to, again, my frequencies. I don't know why it does this. It seems like it resets. It's a real pain. I'm not the only one this happens to. I've heard other people saying that it happens to them. I mean, if you go into the menus, the ATC menu, to do anything, it'll change your frequencies, but like that one, just between takeoff and now, it just decided to change, which is a real pain. So Eastbirds, make sure you reconnect so that we can see you. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you're back up. So we got good spacing between the three of us. And we should have a good flight. I'm just gonna go look at what's coming in at our destination airport. So at the moment there's no aircraft heading out, and we're the only three that are heading in, so should be good. Let's get a little bit better outside view here. A little bit of turbulence. I think I'm going to turn the seatbelt signs back on. Just because we are over mountains. And we're moving into the middle part of the day here, so we should be getting some heat and wind turbulence coming off them. But we'll leave them off for now. See how it goes. So basically we're going to be flying over mountains and high plateaus most of the way, and then we are going to pass over the famous Lake Titicaca, which is one of the highest elevation lakes out there, I believe. Big lakes anyway. Alright, how are we doing? 36,000, we're almost up to cruise. So once we hit cruise, we'll get the in-flight entertainment up and going, and then I am going to go to chat for a bit, and I'll rejoin on voice when we get closer and we get ready to do our descent and arrival briefing. 36.6, yeah, that we're getting bounced around a bit, so I'll throw the seatbelt signs back on.
Gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, we're going to be landing with a little bit of a tailwind. There's a few clouds at 1,500 feet. So it's supposed to get a little bit worse. The wind should die down slightly. We should have 4,000 meters visibility, but the overcast at a height of 300 feet in mist. And that is going to be between, well, now and midnight tonight. So we may be okay now, but later on she's going to get a little bit misty. Although, Yeah, it looks like it was a little bit misty and drizzly there, but it's clearing. And we should just get a lowish cloud ceiling. So, actually, help if I was reading the right airport. Actually, the TAF I've got is like 28 hours old, so I don't even have that accurate. Oh well. Anyway, let's get set up in the back. There we go. Nice view of the clouds and the mountains as we fly overhead.
In a few moments, we'll be starting our in-flight service. We will be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Please look in your seat back for our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, please note that we only accept credit cards.
Well, there you go. You can have a little bit of entertainment with your drinks and snacks. So enjoy the flight, and we'll be back on voice as we get closer to our briefing. See you in a bit.
one knows, and I'll tell you how it goes. There's a little Dutch mill on a little Dutch hill.
I hate all work and play. I hate things neat and clean. I'm dirty and I'm mean. Jingle, jingle, glittering gold, precious power and strength untold. Reap it, keep it, old is wealth, old like blood is life itself.
Let's begin.
I'll teach you to spy on me, you rats. No one knows about my gold. I got the secret well. When I burn your tongues out, even you won't tell.
That's office.
take the door down.
He's a dirty, mean miser. We'll take him to be wiser. Get water, soap, and brushes. We'll clean him till he flushes.
No, not that. No. Oh. Wait! I never knew that friendliness could bring one happiness. All my goal has brought me north. Joy like this cannot be bought.
Oh, the little Dutch boy and the little Dutch girl at the little Dutch mill on the little Dutch hill. Now they're happy and safe, their little Dutch family.
And don't forget, folks, when you goes to the polls today, a vote for Popeye means free ice cream for all the kiddies.
All right, men, step right over here and get your free cigars.
And what we need is bigger elephants in all our zoos. Oh my gosh.
Now, just remember your old pal Bluto at the polls today, fellers. And there's an extra cigar for each and every vote you give me. Yes, sir.
And furthermore, I promises 2 cans of spinach for every pot. Here's me past record, folks, which speaks for itself.
You double-crosser. Steal my voters, will you? Winning vote. Guess I'll do over the White House in canary with green trim.
Get off the road, son. You're blocking traffic. reflection of votes for me for president.
If you want a good-looking guy in the White House, vote for me, babe.
I can't go to the polls till I get the wood all chopped for the winter.
No sooner said than chopped, darling.
That vote is mine.
Votes for me?
Well, the field still needs plowing.
Okay, Olive. All done. Now to the polls.
Oh, I almost forgot. That hay must be put in the hayloft.
Finished, Ollie. Shall we goes to the polls?
Popeye, I'm casting my vote for you.
Let's go, Toots. You're voting for me.
You, I'm not voting for.
Oh, yes, you are.
So let's see how we're doing here. So 250 miles to go from LP 623. And we want 60 miles for our descent. So let's see how it goes. Hey Dark, we miss you coming and flying with us. You gotta join us again someday. If you can. Probably getting nice and busy. So let's take a look at our approach at the moment. Start looking at that. So as mentioned, there's no star. So we're coming in here pretty much straight in over the lake. Lake Titicaca, crossing the border halfway across from Peru into Bolivia, and then we'll be flying directly down to the entry point. So if you look at the approach, there is where we're headed, LP 623, and we turn on that heading of 100. LP 624 is the meeting point of all the kind of the northwest and east and south intercepts. Then we descend down to 15 or 14,500, and then when we hit LP 657, we will be in a 2.5 degree down to the runway. Now, as mentioned, there is an ILS plate available, so I'm just going to go and pull that up right now. Go here into the charts. Look at the approaches. There are ILSs listed. If we look at the Yankee, it does show us coming in this way and then around. So this is close to what we're going to be doing. But 110.3 is apparently the localizer. Now it didn't show up in the aircraft when we went in and did our programming. But we're going to put it in anyway, into the RadNav side of it, and we'll get that ready. So, 110.3, put that into the ILS, and there is a beacon, or a VOR there, at, it's PAZ for PAZ, so throw that in, VOR 1. That's pretty close. And there are no other beacons or anything in the area, so put those in. We've got the VOR tuned now on the radio, or on the ND. So that should be good. So now we're just waiting until we get close enough. So we go back to our progress page. This is 244 miles. And again, we want 60. So we're about 188 miles out from our descent at this point. So I think right now we'll just throw on a little bit of music. In the background, and a little bit of turbulence there, or at least a weather shift. Let's jump outside. Go to that view. Well, this one's a little bit quieter. And I'll rejoin you in a little bit. close to our descent point. Start reining in the range here. That's Lake Titicaca below us. One of the highest lakes in the world. Split between Peru and Bolivia. Freshwater lake. Of course, we're in the Andes Mountains right now. It's the highest navigable lake in the world. Also the largest lake in South America. $12,500 feet up. So it's a big lake with some commercial shipping on it, which is why they call it the highest navigable lake. There are a lot of cultures that have lived around here. Even to finding underwater temples or ruins underwater that have been flooded out since then. But there's been various cultures around it, and then you've got, of course, the Incas that settled and were well known in this area. So that's what we're flying over right now. Let's do a final weather check. Alright, so no updates. The current mentor I got off the internet is as such. As we saw earlier, we can't get anything out of the sim. It's not available. So let's enter this information in. We've got about 30 miles to go before we descend. So we'll go over to our descent mode. So the QNH here is 1041. Not 1041. Is it? Yeah, it is. Wow. That's rather high pressure for such a high elevation. It's currently 9 degrees. Winds are 250 at 5. Now transition altitude should be 18,000 feet. Yeah, 18,000. So we'll put that in. Barrow for this landing is 13,490. Wow, that looks very strange seeing that there. We're going config 3 as mentioned prior. We're going to keep the speed up, and the air is kind of thin up here, so we should be good. So that's all now entered in the progress page. 20 miles to go. We're almost up to the Peru-Bolivia border. It's just this side of this little islandy peninsula that sticks out there. Yeah, I know, that's what the MEDAR says. Imagine if that was at sea level, what that pressure would be. Dial that into the standby. It's going to take a while to crank it all the way up there. Look at those hundreds of feet scrolling past there. Wow. There we go. So 800 foot difference from standard. No, descent will be the same. Same as any other time you descend down. It's just that you don't have to go down as far to get to where we want to be. So like I mentioned, we're going to do a 3-degree down to that point, and then we'll go in from there. So that's going to be a 2,000 foot per minute descent, and I'm going to peg the speed at 270 now for the descent. So we'll dial in that first altitude we want, which is 18,000. There we go. And we will start her down. So as I said, we're going to go down to a 2,000 foot, and I'm going to peg the speed at 270. La Paz area traffic, TAM 5556, leaving flight level 370 for flight level 180 for the approach into La Paz. Simon, it's going to be myself. Nick is following me. And then just a bit further back is Eastbirds. So we're going to probably get down on the ground and park, and then we're going to watch Eastbirds come in and land. So, no pressure. Alright, so we can put that back into normal mode. Follow our descent down. Salt Lake's 12,500 feet.
Bad traffic. TAM 1880, descending from flight level 350 down to flight level 180.
Huh. Yeah, I think we might confuse packs. You're right. Oh, we got snow in the mountains there to the north. Check your frequency, Eastbirds. Both, I heard Nick, and I'm on the right frequency, 122.8. It might have changed on you. So, just, you're still connected because I can see you on VatSpy, but just check your frequency. You might also be too far away. There is a range limit. Yeah, mode Charlie is for your transponder. Just check your radio frequency, but there is a range limit as well. So you may be outside of the range limit. Alright, let's just hop on board. 270 is good. So when we hit LP 623, we have to be at 200 knots. So be in manual speed mode by the time we get to that point. We'll dial her in. So when I hit 20,000, I'll probably put her down to 200 knots, and we'll start slowing her down. It's going to definitely require some speed brake for that. And we're going to do all our landing checks at 20,000 feet. Yeah, I think it's a distance thing. It's usually only like 150 or 100 miles or something that you'll hear Unicom traffic in you. That's so you don't get flooded by everybody else talking on it. So it keeps the number of people down. We did hear you earlier, back in Lima. Alright, so there's 29,000. I'm going to get them to start putting away their portable devices. The airport's out there in that flat area in the front. You can see the Andes there with all the it's a nice little moon. Can never remember which way that is, if it's waxing or waning. High mountain landing here. Airport elevation is... I'm just looking for it here. (13,314 feet. Nice. So before we get too much further, landing flaps 3, because that's what we're going for. We're going to click that on. That way it won't keep yelling at me for final flaps for configuration. So to remember, because that's up overhead, I might forget it. Picking up the VOR. It's only 27 miles away. Well, yeah, it is. Got a direct line. So we're going to start slowing down now. Get that speed brake out as well. So we're going to take her down to 200 knots. Full speed brake out. It's looking like we're going to be high.
We have begun our final descent into Bolivia. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any.
Yeah, that's why I put
electronics.
mine into partial control on the seatbelts. I never put them on to full. That way I've still got a little bit of say in what happens with them. Alright, so we're getting down. So 14.5 is what we're going to want next. So let's get that dialed in. Alright, we're making the turn. Throw landing systems on. Landing lights are on, taxi light is on, taxi light's on, turn off lights are on. So I'm picking up the ILS, which is nice. Trying to slow down here. There's the airport. Let's try not to go around. So we gotta get down, slowed down early. Alright, and yeah, we're gonna go around. We're not gonna make it. 17,000 for the go around. The speed coming back to managed. La Paz traffic, TAM 5556 is on a missed approach for runway 10. We'll head down to the published missed approach and then circle back around. Right, so we're going to overfly the airport now. Climbing back up to 17 now. Oh, 18,000, so I'm going to dial that in. That should be 104. That's the other thing we forgot. That's fine. It would have put us even that much higher. So 17,000. So it looks like we're going to come in behind Eastbirds now. But look at those mountains. There's La Paz itself. So we're overhead, returning, heading 181. It was too high, too fast. I didn't get her down in time. So there was no way I was going to make the arrival Eastbird, so going around. It's okay, I'll slide in behind you. We're going to go out to 19 miles. No, I'm flying the published.
Traffic, TAM 1880 is final.
Yeah, I'm flying the published missed approach. So I'm heading down to LP 627, and then I'll turn out and head up towards 623 again. And by that time, Eastbirds, you should be on your way in. So we'll see how that goes. bring the speed up to 210. I can see Nick's lights going in for the landing. Close the speed brakes. We're 12 miles. Let's put the terrain radar on just in case. About 5 miles, we'll head west. Luckily there is an ILS here, so that'll be handy for this time when we come in. Just didn't have enough room to get her slowed down that time, so it's always good to go around. You can always try again and make the landing. I'm just watching where Eastbirds is. I don't want to crowd them. So I think Nick got down okay. So we're going to turn west. Like a big flat area between the mountains where the town is. So Nick's down.
Lima traffic, Avianca 850, inbound, Lima pampas 64, 6.5 miles.
Alright. So we're going to turn to heading 300. We'll cut the corner a little bit here. .263 not on here. We're out of the we're out of it, so it's not showing the ones from the thing anymore. Or is it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, 263. So let's go ahead direct to Lima Papa 263. There we go. Airport has a slope? Oh, I'm sure it does. I noticed the runway elevation's less than the airport elevation, so I think it's uphill. Alright. So we're heading to that point where we should be able to swing around and then pick up the ILS again. Beautiful scenery up here. So 15 miles, about 10 miles, we'll start to descend down to 14.4, and then we'll arc around, hopefully pick up that ILS.
La Paz traffic, Avianca 850 inbound for final approach.
All right, so we got some good spacing there. Willie Canuck, thanks for dropping in. Good show, good chat with Nels today. Really enjoyed what I heard. We seem to be in some low ground here. As I said, about 5 miles we'll turn in, and then we'll intercept everything. Should be good to descend, so we'll go down to 14.5. Yeah, it's been interesting. Well, it's been pretty uninteresting until we did the approach here. It's the first time I've flown into an airport with an elevation of over 13,000 feet. And
Lima traffic, Avianca 850, missed approach following published procedure.
Came in too high, too fast. Couldn't get her down. And I got a feeling Eastbird's just did the same thing. Too high, too fast. And Eastbirds, I should be in by the time you get around, so you should be able to just swing it in and do a tighter loop around to re-pick up the ILS. You don't have to go all the way out like I did. I was doing it to give you some room.
2,500.
All right. Not a high-speed approach, but a thin air approach. It's kind of interesting. I forgot your speed. Yeah, you got to get that speed down. All right. So I'm going to go into manage mode. I'm just going to put up the first notch of flaps, get me slowing down here. Perfect pitch, but too fast, yeah. Alright. I'm going to crank it around. And we'll set up for the intercept on the ILS. Go to about 130 degrees, which should give me a 30-degree intercept since I'm going to go through it. Close to the ground here. We're about to level out, so we're all right. You can see why we're supposed to be at 18,000 or descending through 18,000 at this point, but that's fine. We'll give the passengers something to talk about as I look out the window. There we go, the airport's ahead. Rollout. The rad nav is still all loaded in. Flaps 2. Brakes are on. Speed brake armed. Lights are on. Ding the cabin. Alright, 10 miles out.
1,000.
There we go. Not sure where the ILS is right now. Lukla. No. Where is that? Ah. Here's the ILS Cloud Slope, so let's go approach mode. Put on the second autopilot. Should be better now. Try to configure early, so 6.5 miles. Gear down. Nepal. Oh, is that the one on the slope on the side of the mountain? Yeah. Haven't done that one yet. And flaps 3, which is our landing flaps. Looks better. Speed's down. And the altitude's much better. So gears down, 3 green, auto brakes set, spoilers are armed, cabin crew's notified, landing memo, no blue. Paz traffic, TAM 5556, 2.4 miles out on the ILS runway 10. For me it's 139 on a flaps 3 landing. Or 139, 141. 139 in around there. There's the glide slope.
500.
It's a short intercept.
400. 300.
Kind of wallowing in the thin air here.
200. 100.
Oh, that is sloped.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
That's a little rough. Let's get her down. Reverser's armed. Reverser's green. Auto brakes on. Knots. Reverser's off. Auto brakes off. Let's get off the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bolivia. The local time is 12:20 p.m. and it's currently about 9 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, I was a little fast. Flaps 3 again. So that had us going. La Paz traffic, TAM 5556 is clear, runway 10. brakes. Disarmed. The flaps coming up. Let's come to a halt. Off, off. Transponder to standby. TCAS to standby. Landing lights are off. Strobe lights are off. And taxi light is on. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Willie. Appreciate it. So if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, hit the bell notification, throw a like on the video, all that good stuff. It always helps the channel grow our little community and gives me a nice warm feeling down in the field. So not a lot of parking spots here. Okay, let's see what we got here. We're going to go around the other side here. Traveling uphill. Oh, there's still a ramp here at the end for Eastbirds. Oh yeah, definitely a hill here. Some power going to get over the hump here. Hey Simon, thanks. Appreciate it. Enjoy your day too. We'll talk to you again soon. Turn in. Probably something like that should be good. I hope. Yep. We have external power. We will connect external power. We'll turn on our brake fan. Those temperatures down before we put on the parking brakes. I don't think we can chock the aircraft. Yeah, so we're going to have to hold the brakes. But that's okay. We can get the jetway out. Thank you. And with me holding the brakes, shut down the engines. People's up and moving. Get rid of that logbook. Turn off the fuel pumps. I don't know, you shouldn't hold the hot brakes down. I'll let Roger get out, say goodbye to everybody. Give me the wheels back. Thanks, Dark Fury. Appreciate it. I'm going to throw the parking brakes on anyway so that we can go out and watch Eastbirds come in. Let me get the camera going. A little bit faster. Why am I moving? Wow. I put the parking brakes on and she rolled into the building. Well, that was interesting. Gonna have to get maintenance to look at that. I wonder if it was because they were hot, they didn't take. I don't know. Here he comes. And he's put her down. Nicely done, sir. Now you got another aircraft coming out at you on the backtracking. Yeah, don't tell HD I did that. And my radios have switched as well, so I can't even listen to what's going on here. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. We are here. There's my airplane into the wall. We'll look at Nick's. It's better parked. I get the world straight again. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Appreciate it. It's been a good flight. It's a lot of fun flying in South America. And as I've said, and as Eastbirds has joined us, if you want to come and hop along, flights are the same time every week. And I put it up on the channel in advance so you can see where we're going. So feel free, and we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.